I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to talk about fighting and breakups. Well, you know,
I don't want to talk about that today.
oftentimes, Margaret, fighting is a symptom of other major things going on in a relationship.
Sure.
You know, maybe unmet needs a lot of the time come up. The anxious person doesn't feel cared about. The avoidant person is, feels smothered and
starts a fight to distance.
Yeah, they're like, oh, your anxiety is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And you hear that. But, you know, we have needs. And a lot of times we're fighting about those needs. And oftentimes there's underlying issues that you have to be aware of. And that's why we're always talking about attachment issues and how they relate to the breakups. Because once you start to understand that, you can start to change yourself in understanding of what you need and your partners need, and either with your ex or other people that you date in the future. But I found a good email coaching that talked about fighting, and I feel like we hadn't talked about fighting too much recently.
We haven't talked about it very much.
So I thought it would be a good one. So I'm going to read this email coaching that I did. This guy is in his early 20s, and the girl he was dating was in his early 20s. Now, he said they were best friends for a year before they started dating, and the whole romantic relationship didn't quite last a year. So I think the dynamic probably shifted once they went from friendship to romantic
to being
love.
Intimate,
So he said they spend almost every day together. He said, I was her first relationship and her first love. As for me, this is my second relationship. Now, he said they talked about getting engaged after finishing college, but it seems like that may have been a little soon. But I guess because they had been friends for the year beforehand, it adds a lot more time to it. Yeah. We broke up because of a lot of fighting in the last 2.5 months. It was never about what the fights were. It was mainly how we handled the fights. They escalated and got really bad. We were rude and mean towards each other, acting extremely defensive. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like things probably were just people were, both of them were saying whatever they could to get angry and hurt and lashing out and trying to punish the other.
Yep.
And it just
and as Gottman would say, that whatever efforts they made at repair clearly were not working.
Yeah. We had a fake breakup for a day a month before the breakup.
A fake breakup.
Now, sometimes you'll see videos or things about fake breakups. And, we haven't really talked about fake breakups.
No, it's news to me.
Okay, this is my thoughts about the fake breakup. Sometimes I feel like somebody is frustrated that you're not giving enough into the relationship, and they're trying to get you to change. So they'll break up with you, not because they really want to, but to get your attention. So
you weren't hearing me, so I had to threaten you. Okay.
That's how I view the fake breakups. Okay. But I think there's a lot of nonsense about fake breakups. Oh, she broke up with you because of whatever stupid... we haven't really talked about this before, but I think sometimes people will break up with you, and I'll have people on the call with me that be like, I didn't want to break up with him, I just wanted him to fix this thing.
He wasn't paying any attention to me. He didn't listen to what I said. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts about the fake breakup.
So you can do a fake breakup, or some people have an affair under those circumstances.
Yeah. So he said we had a fake breakup for a day a month before the breakup. Now, I don't think it was a fake breakup in this situation. I think it was they had really been fed up to the point where they were breaking up, and then they wound up working it out. But, you know...
Who did the faking?
He didn't say. But I remember Seinfeld doing a joke years ago about a breakup is like tipping over a soda machine. Sometimes it has to go rocking back and forth a little bit before you get it tipped over.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I envisioned with this.
Yes, yes.
They were rocking the soda machine. It didn't quite go over, and then a month later, poof. So he said, a month ago, we broke up for good since the fights continued. She tried fixing things mid-fight, but I was too heated in the moment, kept being passive-aggressive and rude, to the point where she saw no hope and broke up with me.
So she made the attempts at repair
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the fight,
Yeah.
but he couldn't respond.
And so, you know, sometimes people just get to that point and they're like, that's it, I'm done, right? And I think it gets a little worse here. We said our goodbyes, met to return her stuff, and that was it. 3 days later, I texted her asking to talk, and she replied hours later saying, I'm not ready to talk, but if you want to get stuff off your chest, you can. I apologized for how I handled things, pointed out specifics where I went wrong, and how I'm working on it to be better. See, he was using logic and reason on how to fix it, right? Just like the guy would do, right? She agreed that these are things I need to work on, and how she can't be there anymore because it's not fair to her.
And he'd been working on it for 3 days.
Yeah, a whole 3 days, so
Well,
things were
I
repaired.
appreciate his effort, but yeah, 3 days isn't going to do it.
Yeah, and she was probably feeling like so angry and frustrated.
She seems to have handled it fairly well, though. She was reasonable.
Yeah. She felt disrespected when we fought, scared to tell me things, and it hurt so bad whenever we did fight. And it sure does. It causes physical pain in us.
Afraid to tell him things. I'd love to know what she couldn't tell him.
I don't know, maybe like if she wanted to go out with friends or something, maybe he would get controlling.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind for
Yeah, me too.
But obviously there was no safety.
Right.
And
no
if you
safety.
can't,
That's right. If you don't feel safe with your partner, yeah.
you're in big trouble.
Right.
In big trouble. I begged and pleaded and asked if there was a chance for us in the future. She said no, but she still loves me. Now, of course, she's going to say there's no chance a lot of times because she doesn't want him to keep pressing her. Right? She's trying to set
But
that.
there's a mixed message.
Yeah, because I still love you.
No, but I still love you.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
That same day, I talked to one of her friends. Here we go with the manipulation. This isn't going to go well. I talked to one of her friends to help me out. I've tried this maneuver. I've tried this maneuver.
Never works.
Ugh, backfired. Remember, I had the one pathological liar
God,
friend.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I tried using in friends and family.
Yep.
It often makes them angry. I tried talking to one of her friends to help me out, but he sided with her and said things are better off this way. So now you're going to be even more frustrated. I talked to another one of her friends a few days later who supported our relationship. She said my ex would never do something as drastic as a breakup without trying to find a solution,
No, she
and
did try.
felt there were no other options left. Things are better off this way with you two separated. So now he's got two people going against him.
Wow.
So you know he's going to get more upset. I started no contact after, but sometimes I doubt it. It feels like I had wronged her by the way I had handled the fights, and I should reach out after enough time has passed.
No, respect her decision and leave her alone.
And that's exactly what I said to him in the coaching, because you already apologized.
Yeah.
Right? And another apology isn't really about apologizing, it's about trying to manipulate her and change her mind.
Yeah.
And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to see that. Because you apologized.
That's it.
And she accepted your apology, I'm sure. But the further apology is just an excuse for her to reach out to her. I wanted things to work out between us because the attraction was never lacking. We were so passionately in love with each other. She isn't the type to party or talk to a lot of guys, so I don't think she'll jump into a new relationship. rather than getting over this one. She has a really strong support system at home with her friends and family, meaning everybody's against me.
Yeah, that's what he really
Yeah.
means, yeah.
It truly feels like she is going to stick with her decision and not stray away, especially without the support. Boy, he did say it in the next sentence, right? What we were calling, with the support of everybody saying, don't give him another chance.
And that, I give people a hard time when they say that. Well, was this person a grown-up? You know, how come she can't make her own decision? Oh, well, you know, she always goes with whatever everybody else tells her. Then you don't want her. You don't want that person if they can't make their own decision.
So he
of
wants...
course, it lets him off the hook. It isn't me. It's partly them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, can I get my ex back? Well, you gotta work on your issues here. And I think there's a lot more going on within you than you even said in this email.
Right.
You get that vibe too?
I do.
And so you're not even coming to terms with how honest you're being with yourself here, because I think you're still telling yourself, I only want to reach out to apologize. No, you want to reach out because you're trying to get her back, and you're thinking another apology is what's going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to make her more angry.
I do too.
I think it's more important that you really work through some stuff that you got going on within yourself. You learn to communicate better, and it seems like you're probably controlling. That's the underlying vibe I get here.
Did we ever find out what they fought about?
He didn't get into the specifics of what they fought about, I don't think, other than he said she felt disrespected, which is concerning, because what was their name calling?
Yeah, when they got really angry at each other.
It
sounds
seems
there
like
might
it.
have been, yeah.
He didn't say name calling, but how else would she have been disrespected? And scared to tell him things.
That's the big one for me.
Yeah.
She was afraid to tell him things. I guess for fear that he'd go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems
That's a big one for me.
to me like you got to work on emotional self-control more than anything. And if she comes back around again, you can slowly start to show her these changes and take it from there. I think you're scared because you're feeling like everybody's telling her not to give me another chance, so she's never going to give me another chance. Well, maybe in time she will have more time to think about things, think about the problems, think about what went wrong, and really process this and reach out to you again in the future.
But she broke up with you, right? She broke up with him, fairly dramatically, I think, saying, you know, I'm done. And you need to not disrespect her decision, that it belongs to other people. No, she made some decision to break up with you because she said the words.
Yeah.
So it's not about her friends, her family, or anybody else. It's about her.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wonder if he's getting bad breakup advice because of his idea about the fake breakup here going on. And that seems totally disconnected from what was really happening. It seems like a real breakup to me.
Yeah.
They broke up and she was like, no, I still love him. I still care about him. And then yet another big fight, it seems like not even that much later. And then because of that other big fight, and she tried to repair things.
She tried to repair things.
She was like, that's it, I'm done, I can't handle this anymore. So that tells me that you were losing emotional self-control a lot more than you're letting on here, because he couldn't
Or maybe
control
even
it.
a lot more than you realize. But
That's
if
true,
your
too.
partner is afraid to tell you things, that's heavy duty.
Yeah. So the safety is gone here. Now, I do think in his favor, he has the fact that they had a year where they were best friends. So she knows him probably a lot better.
When he wasn't so heated and upset.
Yeah. So she's got that to think about and realize that, you know, there was that whole friendship of being best friends before this that I think she could fall back on and reevaluate
Yep.
this.
Yep, because she saw him when he was in a more tranquil state.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess he was controlling also.
That was what my gut was telling me. But, you know, you can work through this stuff and, you know, you have a long friendship here or a solid friendship before this dating.
I think that's a very good point, that you have something you're working from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That she can consider. And all of her friends and family can think about that as well.
Right.
You know, that even though the relationship dynamic may have not been as good, when they saw you as friends, it probably looked pretty good. So, you know, work through your issues, let her respect her decision, and let her come back to you, and then show her that you're going to be, a lot more emotionally in control. You're not going to try and control her. You're not going to try and manipulate her. You're not going to try and, that you're going to allow her to feel safe in the relationship.
And let me give you a hint. If you don't go to therapy but work on it yourself, that's great. But nothing is going to speak to her like if you go to therapy.
That's true. She'll take you a lot more
seriously. She'll take you much more seriously.
Yeah. So, a lot to think about. Hopefully you guys found this one helpful and gives you some insight into fighting and the breakups and what causes it and how to navigate it and what to work on. And of course, when you want our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful to you, please sign up with me.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.